Well, we've already got the defending champion and the Olympic gold and silver medalists through to the 3,000 steeplechase final. Let's see who else can join them. Jakob Butera on the inside for Norway, 340 this year for the 15, and he's an 8:21 man. Ginaou of Tunisia going well into Arce, European finalist for Spain. Sable of India, national record holder. He's been in brilliant form with 8:12. Watch out for Tintouf. He's not the fastest, but he's got good tactical awareness, as has Benjamin Kigen. Bronze last year, only started as a steeplechaser in 2017. What progress he's made over the last 5 years. Yamani Haile Selassie, former World Junior silver medalist, 5th last year. Only 8:26 this season. Aoki's been over here in the US doing some training. And how good is it to see Evan Jaeger back from injury, the Olympic silver medalist in Rio, who was 6th in the final in London, 8:17 coming 2nd in the US champs, and he said that result meant more to him than the Olympic silver because he wasn't sure he'd ever get back there. Haile Mariam Amare running with a couple of pictures of loved ones. He's now, yes, he is putting them down. I thought he was going to tuck them under his number. Reitinen, 8th last year in the Olympic final. And Johansson, 28:40 man for 10K, nearest the camera. So it might not have the headline-grabbing names, this one, but watch out for Benjamin Kigen, who ran very well last year in the Olympic final. Who's joining the big boys in the 3,000 steeplechase final? 3rd heat. Well, we've got a plethora of world and Olympic champions. I'm sitting alongside one, and I'm delighted to be working with another. And my goodness me, he's earning his money. Well, then again, he's used to doing 10 events, so he won't mind being out there in the baking heat. Dan, the man O'Brien, have you enjoyed your day, and what's catching your eye as the early evening sunshine puts a shadow over this magnificent stadium?
Well, I have found a piece of shade here, so I'm out of the heat a little bit, but it was exciting that women's shot put on down in that section. That women's shot put was great to see Chase Ely coming through. She didn't have such good luck in 2019, but it was also good to see Maggie Ewan get up there towards the top of the leaderboard and get through to the finals. But I look around at this crowd, and I think Gail will agree with me, this is what the United States track and field scene needed right now. It's a fantastic crowd. This is more people than I've seen in this stadium, and I've been here a half a dozen times. But a great reception for Evan Jaeger. He's the best steeplechaser that the U.S. has ever produced. We saw him have great success in the early 2010s, Rio silver medal in 2016. He got the bronze in 2017 at the World Championships, 5th in 2015. But a lot of injuries over the last 4 years, and I think if somebody comes out of this meet as the sentimental favorite, it will be that man right there, Evan Jaeger. Last 4 years, guys, torn hip flexor muscle, fractured foot, left calf injury that kept him out of the 2021 trials. And he said it was the COVID year that actually opened up things a little for him to get back in shape, but he wasn't feeling his best until this season. And he said coming into the U.S. Championships, he just got a streak of health. He said he's about 99% healthy and starting to feel like his old self again. And I guarantee if he gets up there to the front of this race and he gets into the finals, he's definitely going to be a sentimental favorite that these fans are going to be rooting for.
Fantastic analysis and insight there. Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Dan. I know we will be hearing from you again. That is great insight on Evan Jaeger. I knew it had been a really difficult time, but that just crystallizes the volume of different complex injuries that he's had to bounce back from. And you know, there's something quite buoyant about the way that he's running. He's had a little look over his shoulder. He's in the perfect place behind Sable, who's also having an amazing season, the Indian. They will be so excited about what he's doing for steeplechase and distance events in India. But Evan Jaeger looks very, very comfortable and confident there, Gail, in 2nd place.
He does, and these fans know his history. So like Dan said, when he gets up there, going to those last couple laps, this crowd is going to help him make it through.
Just a little update in terms of our non-automatic qualifiers. Wale and Martos, the Ethiopian and the Spaniard, 8:17 and 8:18, and it's looking as though it's going to be inside 8:22 for those who are not finishing in the top 3. Many men in this field are capable of low 8:20s or high 8-teens. So we will pay close attention to the clock, because this is the last of them, and there are 6 non-automatic spaces available. Again, having a very clever, quiet race at the moment. He's just comfortably going along in about joint 4th, and Haile Selassie, the Eritrean former world junior medalist, with that really distinctive Eritrean vest. He's just running in around about 6th or 7th there with the pale blue alongside the Norwegian Butera. But Jaeger hitting the front. It must be a night, I guess you've got used to it now because you've been retired a few years, but when you were competing at the very highest level, you probably didn't have the luxury of staying around at the stadium to watch a 3,000 steeplechase, because you were back having an ice bath getting ready for the semis and the final.
You're right, and that's what retirement for me has meant. I get to be a fan of my sport. I get excited to watch these races and the shot put and all of that.
Well, the crowd very much in the mood for the athletics, with that rousing rendition of the American anthem and the fly past, and the presence of Evan Jaeger with locks flowing and legs driving at the front of this 3rd heat of the steeplechase is also igniting the crowd. Arce of Spain going well in 2nd place, with Kigen in 3rd. Sable of India now just beginning to fall back a little bit, and he'll need to pay close attention. No move from Amare of Ethiopia, although exactly at the moment I say that, he comes through on the inside and goes from about 9th to 3rd. Maybe he heard me.
He did.
Yeah, just beginning to get the feeling here that the class of this field are starting to think about putting some daylight between themselves and those who are hanging on to this group. Jaeger from the Spaniard Arce. Haile Selassie of Eritrea. Now Amare coming in, 3rd fastest in the world this year. Sable coming back to this group, and Benjamin Kigen still there. Interesting last 2 laps in prospect here. Now, it's important for Jaeger not to lose concentration here, because we don't know, although we got that insight from Dan, that he feels like he's back to 99% fitness. This could turn into a bit of a sprint over the last 400, and he's taken him so long to get back to full fitness. We don't know how he's going to respond if there's a big drive for those 3 places, and if he gets caught in a big sprint. This is going to be fascinating.
Yes.
Stadium announcer Jeff Whiteman, whose son Jake is going in the 1,500 metres. Really good stadium announcer, Jeff. He's been around for such a long time. He's asking the crowd to get involved.
Yes.
He doesn't need to, they already are.
Yeah, they are, definitely engaged.
Wow, you could be forgiven for thinking they were driving for the line. Amare coming through on the inside of Evan Jaeger with the very talented young Eritrean, Haile Selassie. Benjamin Kigen trying to move into 4th place with the Indian Sable and Arce of Spain. 6 men vying for 3 automatic spots in the final of what promises to be an incredible 3,000-metre steeplechase showdown. But Amare, who was looking like he was drifting off really in the middle section of the race, looks like he's determined to take this one. He's got a funny stride when he comes into the barrier. He kind of bounds. Kigen lost a bit of room there, and so too did the Eritrean. Benjamin Kigen is going backwards fast. I think he may have hurt himself, and that's a real shame. But Evan Jaeger and Hailemari Amariam. Side by side, the crowd are roaring for one of their own. Oh, what a lean on the line. It was Sable trying to hold off Haile Selassie. Looking at the time, both of them will make it through because Haile Selassie just missed out on that third automatic spot by 2 100ths, but he'll go through as one of the non-automatic qualifiers because there were spots available for up to about 8:21. I wonder what happened there to Benjamin Kigen, because he seemed to have his stride checked at the water jump and he didn't have enough time to recover. Well, American track and field fans will be delighted that Evan Yeager, the former Olympic silver medalist, has made it through. But what a shame for Benjamin Kigen.
Yeah, he's sitting there, so he can't really tell if there's anything wrong with him.
I'd be curious to see that again, Gail, to see whether there might be cause for the Kenyans to lodge a complaint. But my gut instinctive reaction was it was just a stumble rather than somebody else causing him a problem.
Oh, I think when he came down.
He just jarred his left hip.
Yeah, oh, somebody grabbed him though.
But he'd already landed awkwardly and lost his momentum. And then when the Spaniard tried to come past him, he stumbled again. But this is really impressive from Amare and Evan Yeager. I thought this when we were talking about a Germa El Bakali duel. You put a fully fit Evan Yeager back in the mix, a fully fit Conseslus Kipruto back in the mix. I genuinely think that 3000 steeplechase is going to be a race for the ages on Monday.
It is. Do not miss it. I'm just telling people early.
Amari from Yeager, just a 1/10 of a second to separate them. Sable, oh, look at that. He's given the same time as Haile Selassie, but must have outdipped him by thousandths of a second. Benjamin Kigen down in 7th.